Hi, my name is Noah Adams and I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but currently live in Chicago, Illinois in the United States. I also spent some time growing up and as an adult in Hamburg, Germany, so that place always has a special place in my heart as well. My story with tea is one that I really came to through travel. I think a few years ago I was looking to get more into minimalist travel, one-bag travel, this type of thing, and one blogger who I was taking inspiration from, one of the few items he carried with him in a 21-liter backpack, which is not that small, it's about a normal backpack size, was a tea set. And so that was actually something that sparked my curiosity, but then tried it out and had a few experiences where I got to make tea for friends or strangers in situations on the train, while waiting for a bus for a long distance travel that got delayed, and a few other times on a plane as well. And just seeing the way tea could connect people, bring people a bit of happiness in maybe a time that was otherwise a bit stressful or less enjoyable was something that really stuck with me. So that's sort of how I came to tea, and then as I got more interested in it, made it more of a focus, read some books, would try to go to some tea shops, and then spent a month researching tea and Buddhism in Japan. So that was something that I looked into relatively deeply, at least compared to my knowledge of other teas. There are obviously people who spend their whole lives studying that, but I had a good introduction to it, I would say. I think the tea that I like the most, this is a really tricky question. I might go with the sheng pu-erh though. I really like green teas and the grassy taste. Love some matcha or gyokuro or sencha and things like this, but I think the sheng pu-erh really has sort of that, or can have sort of that grassy type taste, but also you can brew it for many times and sort of watch the flavor change a bit more, so it seems a bit more complex in that regard, and I really enjoy that. Recently I've been drinking a lot of black or red teas from my TeaPal tea club, and normally don't really love red tea actually, but these club ones have been changing my mind. I've really enjoyed it cold brewed. There was one time I cold brewed it and it was so sweet. It was almost like I'd added honey or something. It was kind of mind-blowing. This is the spot where I like to come and have tea, have some plants, have a kettle. Today I'm just pouring from the kettle, but there's also an outlet. I can plug it in there if I need to. Here I have my tea pet, Hokwe, Monkey King, you can see. And then I have a titanium tea set, which I self-anodized with my grandfather, which was really fun. And then I also just have a teacup there. So I'll go ahead and pour some tea. Today I'm having a red tea from the July box of my TeaPals, still finishing that up. Really enjoying it though, and this tea in particular. I was smelling it before and after the first steeping, and when the leaves were dry, when they were wet, and just really enjoying the whole process. I also really like having tea in this spot just because I feel a bit more connected to nature. I know you see this huge building in the background, but there's actually a good park view this way, and it just really brings the outside world in. I live in a pretty tiny studio, and so anytime I can find a way to get some nature in the city, I really enjoy that. Pour some tea on Hokwe, and then top off my cup. Thank you for joining me for this round of tea. Cheers. So when brewing tea at work, I actually like to use this titanium mug. It has a little infusion basket, and so very easy to take that out, and you can even set it on the lid here when you're done steeping it, and then makes it quite easy to brew loose leaf in the office. I also have a travel gongfu cha set, but that is a little maybe too ornate, or doesn't look quite as good on the desk, doesn't look quite as professional at times in the US context, and so I'll just pour some hot water in here. I'm using my kettle at home, but I can pour hot water in the office too, and sort of let that steep. The nice thing about this lid is you can press it down, and then it doesn't give a perfect seal, but it's somewhat spill resistant, so walking around the office I feel a little safer carrying around this boiling liquid from the cafeteria back to my desk. And then when I get back there, I'll just take off the lid after it's been steeping for that time, we'll sort of bring it out. You could even sort of tip it like that, let it sit there for a minute, keep draining, and then when you're done, you can just really sort of shake the last good bits of tea out, set it on the lid, and now you have a nice fresh cup. Cheers!